Okay, hi, Medicare for All for Alaska. I think I don't know the name yet of our group. But anyway, I want to show you something on Slack here. Made a little video. Right now I'm looking at the email that came with our Slack channel link, right? So what I've done is gone ahead and clicked on that, and that is going to open up a web browser for me. My machine's a little bit slow, but hopefully we'll get a chance to look at this. So the web browser opens up to the Slack channel. I'm pretty familiar with Slack, so is my computer. So when this opens up, it might look slightly different than what you have on your computer. And I'm using Windows 10. But here it is. Slack opening up, and you can see some of our members on here have sent some messages, and people are being welcomed into the channel. People are joining the hashtag general channel, and you can see up here on the right there are now 13 of us in here. So this is the primary screen. This is like a billboard of messages, and they're in chronological order, with the most recent being at the bottom. I imagine there's other ways to configure it, but this is the way that it operates best, and this is the way it operates by default. Um, and so there's some things that I can show you that'll be helpful. Uh, One of the first things that you want to know is that on the left over here in this panel, this purple panel, it's purple on my screen, we have a couple of things to note. Here are where it says direct messages. We have a list of the team members here. So you can see all of them, and you can click to send a message to one of them. When you click on it, this main window will change. This big window will change to a message environment for that person. So if I go here to the next person on the team, it's a little bit different window, and there's a recording of all of my chat messages with that person. So this is really handy. You can go and catch up, and these are messages just between the two of you. Um, the channels up above that, so that's what we saw in the first screen. By default, we've been coming into the general channel, and we can make different channels based on different topics or projects or campaigns. So we have channels, and those channels are like their own chat room, and everybody that's in the channel, so for example, Shylin has joined the channel. I think by default everybody joins general when they come in. They click that link. So this is a chat space. So down at the bottom there's a window that you can chat in, and you can say hi everyone. And they may or may not see that if they come and they take a look. You know, I'll click this, and the message will be there. Hi everyone. And they may or may not see it, but one of the ways that you can make sure that they see it is you can say, you can tag that person. So if you look at the message up above mine that Milena sent, it says at Jen Perkins. So she put that in the message, and then that gives a notification to Jen. It stands out for her that she's been messaged in there, and Jen or anybody else can find that message because it's tagged. It belongs, well, it's tagged with the name Jen, so you could do a search and you would find that message. So I will say at Milena, and you can see it starts to sort from the list of team members there on the left. So I can say at Milena, hi, thanks for setting this up. So now Milena will get a notification that she's been tagged in that message, and that's a separate message. Now you can see for each of these messages, whenever I go to a message, there's a little bar over here on the right, and there's some things that you can do. One of the most important things that we want to see is, you see this little quote balloon? This starts a thread. So this is going to open up, just like this is a chronological thread of messages. This one will make like a branch, a thread off of that message over here on the side, so that that message will now have a thread. So this over here is a thread. of whose message? Of Melena's message. Now, I won't say at Milena because I don't need to notify her of this. I'm just putting in some messages there. So, yeah, so that's how that works. So threads are very, very helpful. So now you can see over here, this particular message from Milena has several replies. And you can click on this and it'll show you in the thread over here on the side. And you can close these threads anytime, and any one of these messages can have a thread. And you can go over and open it up. So I've opened up the thread for this message, but there's, well, see, there's a couple of replies there. So there's a thread there. So threads are really important to know. So I'm going to close that thread window over on the right. We've got the main window. The chat messages are in order chronologically, with the latest ones on the bottom, at the very bottom. You've got a scroll bar here, so you can scroll up and back. Over here on the right, there's the scroll bar. Or if you have a mouse wheel, you should be able to move with the mouse wheel. Over here on the left, we have all our team members that we can notify. We have channels here. We're going to talk more about the different channels. That's important to know. We have these different chat spaces based on the topic of the channel. Um, we're going to add a introductions channel, and everybody that comes in can go into introductions and leave a little message, a little introduction of themselves, and then at any point we can go in and look at introductions and find out a little about Matthew or Julie. So um, one of the things that's important about not becoming overwhelmed, I think, with Slack is managing notifications. So just like in so many Windows applications, there's lots of different ways to do the same thing. I'm going to show you one way that works well for me. If I go up here to this main window, which describes it's titled with the workspace name, Alaska Medicare for All, I click on that little drop down, and I have several selections, but I'm going to go to preferences. We want to set some preferences right off the bat. Now the preference window opens, and the top set of preferences to set is notifications. So this is really important. Now, when you started, you may have had this one selected, all new messages, to notify about all new messages. So you might have been getting a lot of notifications. I left that on when we started this workspace because I wanted to get a message, know when people were joining, when people were adding messages, to start to see if there was some activity. Since there's begun to be some activity, I don't want to get all of those messages anymore. So I'm limiting it to just direct messages, mentions. That's if somebody does the @Raymond and I get tagged, then that's a mention, and keywords. So whenever any of these three things happen, a direct message to me, or a mention in a message in a chat, or one of the keywords that I've selected. And the keywords I can put in down here. I've added check tool just as an example. But you put in a keyword, and if ever that's used in our workspace, you'll get a notification. So you can go down through this. There's a lot of different settings. You can notify when notifications are coming through or not, because sometimes you don't want getting notifications in the middle of the night. You just shut this down, and you can customize it for certain days of the week. So some days of the week you might not want any notifications, so you want to set that. Um, and different sounds and things like that. There's also uh, a a button down here at the bottom. This is pretty important. Send an email notification for mentions and direct messages. I don't want any email notifications. So this had been set by default. It was on, and somebody said to me, how do I stop getting the emails? So you have to click that button, click that checkbox off, and that's all the way at the bottom if you scroll down on the notifications bar. So I wanted to show you the notifications, introduce you to the main portion of the application where we'll chat in a channel, and show you how we can use threads over here. and how useful that can be so that you can manage conversations and topics, right? And then how you can contact team members. Now, each of those things that I've shown you here um, it can be expanded considerably. So hang in there and think about some questions. We'll go over this in the next meeting, next Sunday, I suppose. And if you have any questions, we can take a closer look, and I'll show you some more things that we can do with Slack. It's a very powerful organizing tool. Cool. See you soon.